He wants to know, of all the characters you created,
you said he was cute. I hope he's like under 7 years old. And my favorite. I guess if I have to have a favorite, and I really don't because they're all like my children, but if I had to have a favorite, it would have to be Spider-Man.
Woo!
I mean, somehow or other, he has become like Mickey Mouse. He's all over the world. He's big in China, he's big in Europe, he's big all over. Everybody recognizes him. So I'd have to be kind of fond of him, I guess.
Is there any character traits? Why him?
Why him? I just told you why him. Well, he's big in a lot of other countries. No, I mean, he's become like Mickey Mouse all over the world. People know him and love him. So how can I not love him? And besides, he's more like me than anybody.
All right, we got. They're telling me we got 3 more questions, and then
how do you know there's only 3 more? What? Something from up there came down and whispered that to you?
No, because when you engage with these good people.
I didn't engage you. I don't know what the hell you even got up here.
We got 3 more questions. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I was wondering how many characters, if any, have a real-life basis on people you've known throughout your life?
People what?
So, of the characters you created, do you take any traits?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't think any writer writes any character without subconsciously thinking of people or movie stars or somebody who has those characteristics. But I don't do. There was only one. There was only one character I wrote where I was really thinking of a person when I wrote him, and that was Tony Stark, whom you may know as Iron Man. I was thinking of, oh God, I have no memory. Who's the guy who made the plane that never flew?
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes. I was thinking of Howard Hughes. He was an adventurer, an inventor, a millionaire. In those days, being a millionaire was like being a billionaire today. And he was a genius, but he was also a little bit nuts. Well, we haven't made Iron Man nuts yet, but I thought it would be fun to take a character like Howard Hughes, who the readers shouldn't have liked, because he made armaments and he was part of the military-industrial complex. And in those days, the teenagers hated those kind of people. And I thought it would be a challenge, a fun challenge, to take a character like that and see if I could make him popular. So that's the one character that I wrote that I really was thinking of a person. Everybody else, just fiction.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to the next question over here on this side. 2 more.
Okay, so like my question is what's the day in the life of Stan Lee? You know, like how does it feel? Like you can't go to the grocery store without people like, you know, like.
A day in the life? What is that?
Yeah.
Well, I will admit, people now do recognize me. When I go to the airport and they're searching, you know, you gotta put your arms out and they pat you down. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Lee, they say. So, and people stop me in this. It's funny. People used to stop you in the street if you were famous and ask for an autograph. Now they ask for an autograph and they say, can I take a picture of you? Because everybody has a little phone with a camera in it. So a lot of people do that in the street. And I got to admit, I love it. I don't get offended. I don't get angry. In fact, sometimes I pass somebody who doesn't say, hey, aren't you Stan Lee? I get a little offended. I want to didn't you recognize me? Where have you been?
All right, last question here. Yes, sir.
What was your inspiration or like creation idea for Spider-Man? Because that was my childhood hero, and I thank you for that, Stan Lee.
Oh boy, it's a long story. How much time do we have?
Yeah, this is a good one, but we got all day. You're still
All right.
Don't worry about it.
It's not that good. It's just I talk a lot. I had just done whatever heroes I had done, maybe the X-Men and Fantastic Four, I forget which, and my publisher, who was a strange guy, but I won't discuss that now, but he said to me, "Hey Stan, I think we're on a roll. We have a couple of good-selling heroes. Come up with another one for me." So I wanted to keep my job, so I went home and started thinking, and I saw a fly crawling on the wall. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool to have a hero who could stick to the wall like it? No, I'm not telling the truth. In those days, they probably didn't have the word cool. I probably said, wouldn't it be groovy? Anyway, it's the same point, to have a character crawl on the wall. So I thought, sort of like an insect. And then I thought, okay, now I need a name. To me, names are very important. Like the Hulk. I mean, you had to love a guy called the Hulk. Anyway, I thought, what do I call the guy? Insect Man? Nah, it didn't sound dramatic. Mosquito Man? Nah. And I went down the list and I got to Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I said, wow, I've got my name. Then I decided to make him different. I'd make him a teenager. And finally, I thought to make the readers empathize with him, I'd give him a lot of personal problems. He'd be poor, he'd live with an aunt who's always sick, and stuff like that. So I went to my publisher the next day, and I was so excited. I told him my idea, and he said, "Stan, that is the worst idea I have ever heard." He said, "First of all, people hate spiders, so you can't call a hero Spider-Man. You want him to be a teenage hero? Don't you understand teenagers can only be sidekicks?" And then he said, "And you want him to have personal problems? Don't you know anything about superheroes? They don't have personal problems. They're superheroes." So I walked out of the office with my tail between my legs, but I couldn't get the idea out of my mind. So we were going to kill a magazine. I think it was called Amazing Fantasy. Now, when you kill a magazine, nobody cares what you put in the last issue, because you're killing it. So I thought I'd get Spider-Man out of my system. I'd put him in that magazine. And Steve did go through him. I gave it to Jack Kirby first, but he made him look too heroic. I said, I wanted to be just an ordinary, klutzy kind of teenager. Gave it to Steve Ditko, who drew klutzy characters. And we featured him on the cover, and I forgot about it. About a month later, after the sales figures came in, my publisher came running into my office, and he said, "Hey, Stan, do you remember that Spider-Man character of yours that we both liked so much?" I swear. He said, "Let's make a series of it." And that's how Spider-Man was born.
Just so you guys know, Stan Lee is the only person in the comic book community that has his own star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's the only one representing us.
Only one lousy star.
Yeah, and here's why that's a big deal. Because all this stuff that I grew up with, that people kept saying you're a geek, you're a nerd, you had to hide it away from people, we're going mainstream, right? We've now taken over, the meek have now inherited the earth. I say, the geek have now inherited the earth. Right?